Hey everyone, and welcome to the next in the series of me taking a look at what loadouts we can make with the same item quality. Okay, we've been looking at the different grades that we can use in our loadouts recently. We started off with the elite grade, which is of course the highest, the rarest. It's that red colored grade. The next one we looked at was the assassin's grade, which is the next level down, which is the pink one, the nice neon pink, where we saw quite a lot of loadouts with some decent combinations there. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the commando grade, which is this purple grade you can see here. And just taking a look at that Pyroland collection here available, you can see there are a lot more commando grade items compared to the assassin's grade and compared to the elite grade, which makes you think that we should have some more loadouts that are actually filled up with commando grade items. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a look at what different weapons we can put on our players, and we're going to have a look at some of the cosmetics as well. Okay, so before we start, have a little think. Do you think any of them are going to have full commando grade loadouts? Do you think any of them are going to have all of the cosmetics, all of the weapons? Have a think, okay? Because at the moment, because it's just the grades, the only things that are in grades are of course the weapons and the cosmetics. Okay, there are no action items with grades, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to fill our loadout out with a commando grade action item. But enough talking, let's go on to the actual loadouts themselves. Okay, we'll start off as always with the scout. And as you can see here, he has a pretty full loadout. We'll start off with the scattergun. There's a couple of options, and I've decided to go with the shot to hell scattergun. Okay, it's kind of this like lava-y effect, and I do believe this is one that I created myself. I can't really remember exactly, but yeah, this is a really nice scattergun actually. I wouldn't mind an unusual one. Kind of maybe an energy orb shot to hell scattergun. That would be pretty sick if I could get a strange unusual one of those in factory new. That'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. In the secondary, I've gone for the Kappa. Okay, this came from the confidential collection case back during the invasion update, and it's one of the kind of the earlier items that had a grade. As you can see, mine is a strange one. It's also got a professional kill streak on it. And yeah, there's a number of different pistols that you can use. And obviously, this is officially, it is a pistol. It's just a reskin of the pistol, and it does have that lasery sound. Moving down to the melee, though, there is nothing we can use for the scout, and this is just a spoiler. Okay, spoiler alert for the rest of the classes. But there are no melee items in the game that have the commando grade. In fact, the only melee item that you can use from a grade, excluding things like wrenches and knives, is in fact the bat saber, which is the elite grade. All of the other classes, soldier, pyro, etc., don't have any items that they can use in that slot that has a grade on it. So maybe that's something that Valve can add in the future. Add some, reskins of the bat, maybe reskins of, the shovel, something like that can actually have a grade, so we can fill out these loadouts with the same item quality. But moving on to the cosmetics, now the scout doesn't really have any kind of facial cosmetics unique to his class, so I've decided to go for the toadstool topper. Okay, this came from the most recent creepy crawly collection. It is an all-class hat that you can wear on every class, and the little mushroom hat makes you look like Mr. Toadstool from the Mario series. Moving down here, we've got from the Quarantined collection case, we've got the Captain Spaceman. Now the Captain Spaceman is in fact all class, and it doesn't have an equip region, which makes unusual variants of it very, very expensive. Okay, and as you can see here, there is a lot of clipping. There is a lot of kind of meshing in with everything else, but the Captain Spaceman does not care. It is going to just equip itself on you no matter what else you're wearing. Okay, so we may see this a few more times on the other loadouts just to fill up that final slot. But finally, I've gone down here and I've got the Bonk Batter's Backup. Okay, this is from the Tough Break Cosmetics collection. And as you can see here, it is that Bonk backpack on the back. It's got a little bat, a glove, and the old Bonk drink as well. So at least the Scout does have one cosmetic that is commando grade, but not really much there other than mixing around with the different all-class hats. Moving on to the Soldier. Now the Soldier is rather limited when it comes to the weapons. Starting off, you've got the Woodland Warrior on the rocket launcher. There are other options you can use here. I've decided to go for the Woodland Warrior. Wouldn't mind an unusual one of these. There was, I remember, a Woodland Warrior factory new, strange, with the unusual effect isotope, and that would be kind of That would be worth an insane amount, an insane amount. But I remember seeing a video about that a long time ago. But anyway, so I've decided to go for the Wooden Warrior in the primary slot. In the secondary slot, there is nothing. There is nothing. If you remember back to the elite grade video, there wasn't any elite grade secondary items for the soldier, no shotguns. There was one singular, that's the Red Bear, assassin's grade item, that's the Red Bear shotgun, okay? But we go back down to Commando grade, which you think there'd be more plentiful items around, and there isn't. There isn't actually a Commando grade item for the soldier in the secondary, and like I said, no melee either. So, rather limited. Only Commando grade weapon is in fact in the rocket launcher slot. And for the hats, there is no facial hat specific for the soldier. So I've decided to go for the little bitey, which is again from the more recent Creepy Crawly collection. I think it looks pretty good. It reminds me of the prehistoric pullover, the older raptor hoodie, little dinosaur thing. Going down onto the other cosmetics there, we do have some more. We've got the gift bringer here, which is, you know, basically makes you Santa. It can be worn on a couple of classes, and I've decided to use it on the soldier as it's something a little bit different, not using that Captain Spaceman, as tempting as it is. And down here I've got the Patriots pouches. Okay, that came from the Mayflower Cosmetics collection, and it adds the pouches onto the gift bringer, and you know, it looks okay. It looks okay. A little bit of a mashup, but it looks decent, and at least we've got a couple of different items that we can use on the soldier that aren't all class. Looking at the Pyro now. Now the Pyro has some specific items to him. My favourite flamethrower from the Commando grade collection though is of course the Bovine Blazemaker, the little cow flamethrower. Okay, there is a couple of others that look pretty cool, but I really like the Bovine Blazemaker. But just like the soldier, there is no secondary item, there's no shotgun, and there isn't any flare gun that has a grade or anything like that. Maybe for the Pyro update that's coming up in the future, we'll maybe get some different weapons, and maybe we'll see some grades. You know, maybe a different type of flare gun that actually has a grade, or maybe just a reskin that looks something a little bit different. Who knows? That's something we may see in the future, but for the moment, the Pyro is scarily similar to the soldier in the fact that he can only have a Commander grade item in his primary slot. Okay, but moving on to the cosmetics. Now, in the head slot, I've got the Captain Spaceman. Again, like I said, all class, doesn't clip with anything. Well, it visually clips with anything, but you know, it's allowed to be equipped with anything. It has no equip region. But then we got the Pyro specific Neptune's Nightmare. Okay, this came from the Gargoyle collection. That's Halloween 2015 item. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And to be fair, with the Captain Spaceman, you can barely see the Captain Spaceman. You can just see the Neptune's Nightmare on top, which I think looks really cool, actually. And finally, down here, we've got the Jupiter Jetpack. Okay, this came from the Confidential Collection case, and it is a different backpack. It just changes out that gas canister for the Pyro, and it's something a little bit different. So a couple of Pyro-specific Commander grade items there on the cosmetics, but not very many weapons for him to choose from. Moving on to the Demoman. Now the Demoman, before we saw on the Elite and the Assassin's grade, was almost inundated with options on the grenade launchers and the sticky bomb launchers that you could use. And I've got here the top shelf grenade launcher, which is in fact the only grenade launcher in the Commando grade for the Demoman. So whereas he's a bit spoilt with the higher grades, when you go down to the Commando grade, he only has that one option. But it is a pretty nice one. It's very shiny, got those gold kind of tints all around it. Moving down here, now the Carpet Bomber is one of two. The other option in this slot is the Blitzkrieg. So again, not that very many options in the Commando grade for the Demoman. So I've chosen the Carpet Bomber here. This came from the Concealed Killer collection. Okay, and I think it looks pretty good. There's some nice unusual ones out there. It has a very interesting pattern with the stickies. You can't really see the benefit of it here, but in game it does look very nice. So those are the two different there. There isn't like a pair. You know, we saw in the Elite and the Assassin's grades that we saw a bit of a pairing between the grenade launcher and the sticky launcher, but there isn't in the Commando grade for the Demoman, so it's a little bit of a mix and match situation. Now, the Demoman has, you know, a couple of different hats. I've chosen here from the Gunmetal Cosmetics collection. It is the Outer Sight, okay? It's the old headband and the glasses of the Demoman. The other option that you can, in fact, wear that isn't all class is the Spirit of the Bombing Past, okay? And this came from the recent Creepy Crawly collection. Okay, so it's a bit of a newer hat, but there is nothing else. All the other hats are all class, and you can't wear them obviously because they go in the hat region on the top of the head. So I have to go with the Captain Spaceman to add another cosmetic, but there isn't anything else that you can wear for the Demoman. So when it comes down to Commander grade, the Demoman is rather limited, both in weapons. No, both in weapons and cosmetics. There are not very many items for the Demoman to choose from. Looking at the heavy, now the heavy has been a bit short-changed up till now. We saw no elite or assassin's grade items, but finally we've got a primary, we've got a weapon for the heavy to equip from the grading system, and it is from the Pyroland collection, and it's called the Mr. Cuddles, and it's pretty nice, little kitty cats and everything on there. It's pretty good, it's pretty good, and it's the first finally weapon that you can use. And if we have a look and we type in Commando here, in the options, there are actually quite a few different miniguns you can use. So we were very, very limited before in what we could equip. There was nothing in the Elite or the Assassin's Grade, but go down to Commando. We've also got the option from the Warbird collection, we've got the Butcher Bird minigun. From the Gentleman's collection, we've got the Top Shelf minigun. And from the Two Fort collection, we've got the War Room. Okay, so there's some really, really nice miniguns there from the Commando grade. Down to the secondaries though, and again, no shotgun, nothing like that. So there isn't anything for the heavy to equip, and there's nothing like the sandwich or anything like that for him to use in that slot. So he does have that just one weapon, but nothing in the secondary. So we are seeing a bit of a lack. Obviously there's only the one melee that they can use across the classes, and that's in the elite grade, but also in the secondary there's a bit of a limit. There isn't that many options in the higher grade for a lot of the classes. But moving on to the cosmetics, and the heavy is a little bit spoiled. He's starting off with the White Russian. This came from the Gunmetal Cosmetics collection. Okay, it's that nice little hairdo there. And I've gone for the Heavy Tourism. Now this came from the Creepy Crawly collection. It's that nice Hawaiian shirt with the camera. So it's one of the newer cosmetics, and the only other thing you can wear is in fact the gift bringer. Now this we saw earlier on the soldier, and it does a lot of clipping. You can see here, you can see the Hawaiian shirt, and you can see the gift bringer coming in underneath as well. This of course came from the Tough Break Cosmetics collection, and it just clips all sorts. But the gift bringer you can wear with pretty much anything. So there you go, that you can actually fill out all of the cosmetics there. But if we go down here and we type in Commando and we have a look at the other options, there aren't any other options for the heavy other than the all-class hats. Onto the engineer now. Now the engineer, no shotgun, so nothing to go in this slot. But we've gone for a different pistol. I showed you the Kappa earlier, which was one of the Commando grade pistols. I've decided to go for something different. I've gone for the Sandstone Special. Okay, it's from the Powerhouse collection. As you can see, I have got an unusual one in that list. We can actually see it if you want. This is also Commando grade. It's the Black Dahlia. I've got an Energy Orb one. So there's a couple of different options you can use for the Commando grade in the pistol slot. But finally we've got a wrench in the grading. Finally for the engineer. He can actually do something, and he has a couple of options. I've gone with the Torqued to Hell wrench. Okay, there's also the Airwolf wrench you can use, but this one just really looks really nice. I mean, an Energy Orb or a hot one, with the lava effect on this, the pattern on the wrench, I think would just look amazing. So the engineer finally has a couple of little weapons to use from nothing in the Constriction PDA, obviously. And for the hat, I've gone, for the facial area, we've got the strange, or it's the strange version. I've got the Corpus Christi Cranium. Okay, this came from the most recent Creepy Crawly collection, Halloween 2016. And that is pretty much all you can wear in the facial slot for the engineer. But when it comes to the rest of the slots, there is an abundance of items that you can use. I've gone for the Iron Lung here, which is from the Gargoyle collection, and I've paired that up with the Winter Backup, which is that kind of backpack that goes on the back. This comes from the Tough Break Cosmetics collection. Okay, but if I click here and I type in Commando, you can see the number of different items that you can use. Now, ignoring all the old class stuff, we've also got El Caballero, which comes from the Gargoyle collection. Okay, the Halloween from last year, 2015, and we've also got the Rocket Operator. Can't equip it because it conflicts with some of the other items I'm wearing, but it comes from the Quarantine collection in case that Invasion update last year. So there is a couple of, there's a lot of different things you can wear on the body for the engineer in the Commando grade, which is really nice to see. This is often shortchanged with the items, but he does have a lot of different engineer-specific items for him. Moving on to the medic, and finally we have a weapon for the medic to use from the grading system. Okay, as always, no melee, and there's no primary. There are no primaries for the medic that have grades, but we do have a medigun, and I've chosen the Spark of Life. There is actually quite a few you can choose from. Spark of Life comes from the Powerhouse collection, and if I click here, and again I'll type in Commando, you can see the number of different ones. We've got also got the Wrapped Reviver, which came from the Concealed Killer collection. We've got the Corsair minigun, which came from the Warbird collection, and I've got another Raptor Rifle there, which is just an extra one. So we've got 3 different things we can use. I've gone for the Spark of Life, okay, but when we go to the cosmetics, there's a couple of different options, but they conflict, okay? So I've chosen the Physician's Protector. This came from the Gunmetal Cosmetics collection. The other option in the hat slot that you can use for medic, if I actually type it properly, is in fact the Gauzed Gaze, okay? This comes from the Mayflower Cosmetics collection. As you see, it conflicts. You can't wear it at the same time as the Physician's Protector, so you can't actually do anything with it. So I've just had to pair it with the Captain Spaceman once again, and it actually doesn't look too bad. The Captain Spaceman does need a little bit of clipping at the top there, but it looks generally okay. Probably look better with the Gauzed Gaze. Now that I think of it, we can have a look at what that looks like, just to satisfy. Oh, it says it conflicts. What? Let's have a look again. Maybe that's why. No, it conflicts. It conflicts. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize it would conflict. I thought you could wear it with anything, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's the medic again. A couple of different unique items for the medic, but it doesn't really work elsewhere. There's nothing else you can really wear. Would expect some sort of body thing for the medic, but that isn't in the Commando grade. Moving on to the sniper. Now the sniper I had some high hopes for. I thought there was going to be quite a few different weapons, but I've started off here with a bit of a different item. It's of course, the Shooting Star. Okay, it's a reskin of the Machina that came out during the Invasion update. It's from the Quarantined collection case. As you can see, you can get it in a strange variant, minus Professional Killstreak as well. And it is a Commando grade. There's a few different Commando grade sniper rifles you can use that are basically just reskins of the default. We've got the Airwolf sniper rifle, which came from the Warbird collection. We've got the Boneyard sniper rifle, which came from the Harvest collection, and we've got the Lumber from Down Under, which came from the Craftsman's collection. Okay, these are all just reskins of the default stock sniper rifle, whereas the Shooting Star is a reskin of the Machina. Okay, so it's a different weapon. But going down to the SMGs, there are a lot of SMGs in the game, but there aren't actually any higher than Mercenary grade, which is the grade below, which is the blue grade. Okay, so nothing in the secondary or the melee slot for the sniper. And going on to the cosmetics, there are in fact no sniper cosmetics. Really, really surprising for me. I thought there was going to be at least a hat or something for the sniper to wear, but there is nothing specific to the sniper. So I've just gone for the Chilchulo, which is from the Tough Break Cosmetics collection. It's that little woolly hat, which is in fact all class, and I've gone again for the Captain Spaceman, which is that all class. You can just see the little bobble peeking out of the top of the helmet there. But yeah, for the sniper, rather limited other than the sniper rifles. Finally, we move on to the Spy. Now the Spy looks a little bit of a mess, I admit. We'll have a look at the weapons first. Now the Dead Reckoner is from the Powerhouse collection, and that's one of the revolvers. This is probably my second favourite revolver. Wouldn't mind an unusual one. It does look pretty cool. Can't really see the pattern very well on this screen, but in game it does have kind of that black background with the golden skull and crossbones and stuff like that. Moving down onto the melee slot, this is from the Warbird collection. I've gone for the Airwolf knife. Okay, this is the first time we've seen a knife. Before now, we haven't seen anything in the Elite or the Assassin's grade, but we have seen now in the Commando grade, and there is actually a couple of choices. The other choice is the Blue Mew knife, as you can see it here. I don't think there are any others. No, we've just got the 2 options here. This one came from the Pyroland collection. There is no watch, and there are no sappers with grades, so again those have to be left blank. But moving on to the cosmetics, starting off with a hat. Now we've got the Big Topper here. This came from the Creepy Crawly collection, the Halloween one from this year, 2016. And Captain Spaceman makes another appearance simply because you can smash it onto anything, and it doesn't care. It's going to sit in the clip. The hat is going to go through at the top. I mean, you know, you're in space, okay? You're in space. Is it really going to be safe for you to be breathing in that if your hat's sticking through the top? I don't think so. I don't think so. But hey, it fits with the loadout. It fits with the loadout. Actually, it fills in a slot for us. And in the final slot, we do have another spy-specific item. This is the Lurking Legionnaire. This came from the Mayflower Cosmetics collection. Okay, and it's you know, spy specific. So we've got 2 spy specific items plus the all class no equip region item. But yeah, the spy isn't going too badly. If we take away the Captain Spaceman there, it actually does look a much better loadout if you want to just, you know, go with that option instead. But you know, if you want the full loadout, you have to slap the Captain Spaceman onto there. But there you go, guys. Those are the Commando grade items. A lot more to choose from, and a lot of loadouts that have filled themselves out. A lot more cosmetics being used. Obviously, we had that Captain Spaceman that was used on quite a few loadouts just to fill in the spaces where there were gaps. But you know, we did see on some of the classes there isn't a secondary item available to them. There are a lot of shotguns in the game that have grades, but there aren't that many in the higher tiers. Okay, we've only seen one amongst Elite, Assassin, and Commando grade. Okay, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed having a look at all the different Commando grade items. I might be doing something different for the next kind of item loadout ideas, okay? But if you want me to do a Mercenary loadout, Mercenary is of course the next grade below. It's the blue grade, and there is you know, a lot more of these items. So if you want me to do a Mercenary grade, see if you can fill out some loadouts with that, let me know. Tell me in the comments, okay? If not, I can just move on to some new ideas, okay? But as always, guys, feedback and ideas in the comments are also welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.